Wagyu beef is celebrated globally for its exceptional flavor, marbled texture, and the unparalleled taste that truly stands out, accompanied by its hefty price tag, with a pound costing as much as $1,200. This makes Wagyu beef a luxury, highly sought after by chefs worldwide, who believe that Wagyu cattle yield the finest beef available. But what sets Wagyu beef apart? Join us in this video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel as we delve into the reasons behind the high cost of Wagyu beef. To begin, it's useful to clarify what Wagyu means. Wagyu translates to Japanese cattle, with Wa signifying Japan and Gyu meaning cow or cattle. Historically, for nearly 2 millennia, cattle in Japan were utilized solely for labor. There is evidence to suggest that Wagyu cattle were first introduced to Japan from northern China around 200 AD. In Japan, these cattle were employed in agriculture, forestry, transportation of goods, breeding, and even in pulling carts for nobles and aristocrats. Initially, these cattle were not used for their meat or milk, owing to a ban on consuming four-legged animals that stemmed from cultural and religious prohibitions in place since the 6th century. During this era, Japanese cattle were typically smaller, horned work animals with a variety of coat colors. However, the Meiji Restoration in 1868 marked the introduction of Western cuisine to Japan, and a few years later, in 1872, the Meiji Emperor challenged existing norms by consuming beef to celebrate the new year. This act was controversial and not universally accepted. In February of that year, 10 monks infiltrated the palace to implore the emperor to reconsider, arguing that eating meat was detrimental to the spiritual well-being of the Japanese people. The confrontation resulted in the death of 4 monks, and news of the incident was suppressed in the local media to preserve authority. Amid these protests, Japan witnessed the emergence of a new culinary era from 1868 to 1919, as Japanese cattle farmers began importing thousands of beef-producing cows to crossbreed with their native, more resilient strains. After years of meticulous crossbreeding between Japanese and foreign cattle, 4 major breeds emerged as superior: the Kuro, black, aka brown, Nihon Tankaku, shorthorn, and Mukaku. These breeds are recognized today as the foundation of what we know as Wagyu. The journey of Wagyu to the United States commenced in 1975 when Morris Whitney, conducting research for Colorado University, imported 2 black Wagyu and 2 red Wagyu bulls. At that time, America had no Wagyu cows, so these Japanese bulls were crossbred with Angus, Holstein, Hereford, and Brangus cows from Texas, marking the beginning of the American Wagyu breeding evolution. By 1997, Japan had designated Wagyu cattle as a national treasure and implemented an export ban on live Wagyu cattle to preserve their unique status. This action maintained the exclusivity of authentic Japanese Wagyu in Japan. However, since Wagyu genetics had already been introduced in the U.S., American Wagyu beef, Wagyu crossed with American cattle breeds, began to attract attention. The 4 Wagyu breeds each possess distinctive physical characteristics: meat color, texture, and culinary value. The Kuro, black breed, accounting for about 90% of Wagyu cattle in Japan, is renowned for its exceptional flavor, attributed to its fat and intense marbling. This breed is predominantly used to produce the highly marbled Wagyu beef sought after by gourmets worldwide. AKA, also known as red Wagyu, found exclusively in Kochi and Kumamoto prefectures, stands out for being a healthier cattle breed. Its meat is lean yet tender, with a refined texture. The Nihon Tankaku, located primarily in the northern regions of Japan, produces meat that is leaner and requires more time to mature, distinguishing it from other Wagyu varieties. Lastly, the Mukaku, with the smallest population among the Wagyu breeds, yields meat with a high lean content and a unique flavor profile. These breeds collectively contribute to the diverse and rich culinary tradition of Wagyu beef, each offering a distinct taste and texture that caters to various palates and preferences. Exploring how Wagyu beef is cultivated to achieve such exceptional quality, we dive into the meticulous practices Japanese farmers employ. These farmers refine their techniques to ensure that the cattle develop evenly distributed marbled fat without becoming tough or tense. For Wagyu cattle, this entails a level of care that might seem like a luxury. In Japan, traditional grazing is uncommon. When it does occur, it's usually on mountainsides or in other remote areas not suitable for rice or crop cultivation. Given the high value of each Wagyu animal and the relatively small size of the herds, owners prefer not to expose their cattle to the risks of grazing. As a result, most Wagyu cattle spend their lives in barns and attached pens. Calves are reared alongside their mothers in breeding farms, confined to small areas. They are hand-fed a diet consisting of grains, commercial feeds, a variety of roughages and fibers, including freshly cut green grass, silage, hay, rice straw, and sometimes industrial byproducts and waste from agricultural processing, such as from breweries. From about 2 to 3 months old, Wagyu calves are introduced to a special concentrate feed, and their diet undergoes a notable change during the warmer months of August, September, and October. During this period, to counteract heat-induced appetite loss, the cattle are fed beer and sake. This unusual diet continues until their appetite normalizes. No beer is provided to those with a healthy appetite. Calves are weaned between 8 to 10 months of age and then sold as feeder calves to fattening farms or as replacement heifers to breeding farms. These transactions often occur at specialized calf auction centers, where calves are sold individually at a premium compared to typical Angus breeds. Once in the care of fattening farmers, the calves receive attentive care and a nutritious diet essential for producing high-quality meat. These animals are taken to feeding farms that offer a tranquil environment akin to a spa for cows, where they stay until fully matured. Here, they enjoy ample space to move within their pens and even more room to graze outdoors, ensuring their well-being and the premium quality of Wagyu beef. On feeding farms, Wagyu cattle are meticulously cared for until they reach 2 to 3 years of age or achieve a weight of 1,500 pounds. Farmers ensure the cattle are fed 3 high-energy meals daily. Monthly weigh-ins are conducted with the expectation of a daily weight gain of 2.5 pounds. A key component of Wagyu rearing is maintaining a stress-free environment to prevent the development of tense muscles, achieved by limiting rigorous activities and stress. To aid in muscle relaxation and improve blood circulation, farmers may use a stiff brush. The need for a stress-free setting is crucial. Stress can spike adrenaline levels, leading to muscle tension and, consequently, tougher meat. In Japan, various fattening methods are utilized, with the young steer fattening system being prominent in the beef breeding industry. Steers usually enter this phase at around 10 months and are slaughtered between 27 and 28 months. For females, there are 2 fattening strategies. The old cow system for cows past their breeding or working prime, typically between 6 and 8 years old, and a more ideal method for virgin heifers. In the old cow system, a fattening farmer might dedicate extensive time and effort to a single cow, massaging it for 5 to 8 months with oil and a special straw brush to enhance marbling before slaughter. These massages, lasting about 20 minutes, are performed from May through October. A distinct aspect of Wagyu compared to other premium beef, like Brahman and Black Angus, is its origin and farming scale. While most meat in grocery stores comes from larger factory farms, Wagyu beef is produced in Japan on much smaller scales, with feedlots accommodating between 10 to 100 cattle. This limited capacity significantly contributes to the scarcity and high cost of Wagyu beef, setting it apart from other beef varieties available on the market. One distinguishing feature of Wagyu beef is its marbling, which refers to the white intramuscular fat found within the meat, visible as fine flecks throughout the muscle. This is different from intermuscular fat, which is located between muscles and often trimmed away before cooking. Marbling significantly enhances the flavor, texture, tenderness, and juiciness of Wagyu beef. Highly marbled meat boasts a rich, full flavor and a smooth, creamy texture, making it a preferred choice among many Japanese Wagyu enthusiasts. The intramuscular fat melts into the steak during cooking, imparting a luxurious, buttery flavor. It also aids in keeping the meat moist and tender by preventing the natural juices from evaporating. When prepared and cooked correctly, the result is a remarkable dining experience. Certain cattle breeds, particularly Japanese Wagyu, are genetically predisposed to high levels of marbling, contributing to the meat's exquisite taste and texture. This marbling not only enhances tenderness and flavor, but also contains beneficial nutrients, including omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. Marbling plays a crucial role in determining meat quality and is a key factor in beef grading systems in the US, Japan, and worldwide. Generally, the higher the marbling, the better the beef quality. In Japan, the Wagyu grading system, managed by the Japanese Wagyu Registry, utilizes a beef marbling score ranging from 1 to 12, with 12 indicating the highest quality. Wagyu beef marbling scores typically vary from 3 to 12, with a beef marbling score of 3 requiring at least 21% intramuscular fat. Trained assessors evaluate the beef based on the marbling's quantity, distribution, and texture, indicated by the fat flecks in the meat. In this grading system, a score of 5 represents the highest level of marbling achievable, indicating beef with exceptionally high marbling. Grades 4 and 3 denote slightly less marbling than grade 5, but still signify very high-quality beef. Grades 3 and 4 are more affordable options compared to grade 5, offering a high-quality Wagyu experience for those on a budget. The marbling score significantly influences the taste, texture, and tenderness of the meat. A high marbling score indicates a richer flavor, creamier texture, and greater tenderness, making the meat juicier than beef with a lower score. Even at the lower end of the beef marbling score spectrum, Japanese Wagyu surpasses the quality and flavor of standard grocery store beef, exceeding even USDA prime-grade steaks. The score is determined by evaluating the ribeye muscle, where expert assessors gauge the marbling's quantity, distribution, and texture. It's essential to understand that the Japanese beef marbling scale differs from grading systems used in the US and Australia, as well as from the grading system for Japanese Wagyu beef itself. Nevertheless, beef marbling scores play a crucial role in assessing the overall quality of Wagyu beef. While the marbling grading system is key to Wagyu beef's quality, the method of cooking also significantly affects its flavor and overall quality. Cooking Wagyu beef is considered an art form, with chefs striving to highlight its subtle flavors through various preparation methods. Its high fat content and marbling not only enhance its flavor, but also make it more forgiving during cooking compared to leaner meats. Aside from its breeding and rearing processes, other factors contribute to Wagyu beef's high cost. The global Wagyu market, valued at over $11 billion in 2021, saw Japan exporting approximately 8,000 tons of this gourmet beef, with expectations of the market growing at a compound annual growth rate of 6%, reaching an estimated $16 billion by 2028. Despite challenges such as inflation, supply chain disruptions, and climate change affecting the food industry, Wagyu beef maintains its market presence. From premium steaks to high-priced burgers, this esteemed protein is increasingly becoming a staple. The market's growth is driven by its appeal in the luxury hospitality sector, celebrated for its unmatched tenderness and rich, buttery flavor. Wagyu beef became a staple of fine dining in 2010 when Japan resumed exports to the United States and European nations. Today, luxury venues such as restaurants and hotels remain key drivers of the Wagyu market, although select consumers also find Wagyu in upscale grocery and specialty stores. The industry largely thrives on a business-to-business model, with about 85% of Wagyu sales occurring in this sector, highlighting the critical role of business-to-business commerce. It's common for Wagyu brands to form partnerships with luxury hotels and restaurants in major urban centers as part of their business strategy. Despite its association with opulence, Wagyu beef is gaining popularity across various income brackets, becoming a household name as awareness of its exceptional taste and health benefits spreads. Today's health-conscious consumers, coupled with increased disposable income, form a robust market for Wagyu beef. Even amid inflation, customers are prepared to invest in high-quality products like premium meats. Research indicates that 85% of meat consumers prioritize health benefits, ethical treatment of animals, sustainability, and social responsibility when purchasing meat products, despite high prices. Wagyu beef commands a premium for several reasons, including the specialized high-energy diet fed to the cattle. This diet is key to the cattle's well-being and contributes to the signature marbling Wagyu is famous for. The cattle enjoy 3 meals a day, with ingredients often sourced internationally. Moreover, the cost of Wagyu is significantly influenced by import expenses. Since Wagyu originates from Japan, importing it into the U.S. incurs additional costs. The United States has an import quota for beef, and once this limit is reached, a high import tax is applied to further imports. Consequently, the retail price of Wagyu beef must be increased to cover these taxes, ultimately affecting the price paid by consumers.